I think Euphoria could have been shorter. It was solid overall. It definitely has some of my favorite bars from the battle so far. I like that he's calling Drake a culture vulture. I like that K-Dot saying he makes tracks to energize and Drake makes tracks to pacify. Using pacify in this context is definitely a Malcolm X reference. Saying Drake is not about that thug life. I like how he discussed Drake's tendency to beef with women. I like that he addressed the grooming allegations. Saying he can't say the N-word is funny. One of my favorite lines from this whole beef is on whooping feet. Euphoria has the most replay value out of any track from this whole thing. In truth, when I step away from the hype of this beef in total, none of these tracks from anyone involved have given me the goosebumps of Hit 'Em Up, Who Shot Ya, Ether, or Takeover. In truth, I was overtaken by the hype of hearing Cole, Dot, and Drake rap because I was starving for really good mainstream rap. The so-called hate in this beef isn't sizzling enough for me. It's nowhere near the East Coast, West Coast beef. It's nowhere near the level of hate Jay-Z and Nas have for each other. Don't confuse me here. I don't want anyone to die. I don't want anyone to get shot. The hate here to me just feels like manufactured hyperbole. It feels GMO. Nas and Jigga was real hate. New York was on the brink of civil war. Nas and Jay-Z's moms had to step in to call a ceasefire before the heaters got pulled out. That's hate. This whole thing tastes like cold French fries. It's lukewarm beef. Even Drake's AI track, after letting it sit, feels more poisonous in the concept than in the actual bars. When comparing this beef to Big and Pac and Nas and Jay-Z, the music, which is the most important factor, simply isn't as good. All of these tracks are missing something. Some of the beats are bad. Some of the deliveries aren't there. Hit 'Em Up, Who Shot Ya, Takeover, and Ether had it all. These songs outside of the beef are timeless. They are hip-hop staples. They are classic songs, beef or no beef. What's even crazier is that all of them are over 20 years old and they're still played religiously. What songs from this beef so far will y'all be listening to 20 years from now? Like I said, it's been cool. After hearing everyone's first and second round, I wish Cole didn't drop out of this because out of the three, in my opinion, he's been rapping the best as of late. As I've continued to say through this whole thing, I'm just happy that rappers are rapping. Alright, let me not be fully jaded here. It's unfair to compare this beef to Jay-Z and Nas because Nas and Jay-Z were beefing pre-social media. There was no shot clock. It was take your time and come up with the best response. In fact, Drake's main strategy has been rushing Kendrick to say something. Blueprint and Stillmatic both dropped in the fourth quarter of 2001. Blueprint 2 and Godson dropped in the fourth quarter of 2002, so they had a year to respond. That can't happen in this day and age. This is why the music, in my opinion, isn't as good.